Cryonics is the process of deep freezing dead bodies and brains in the hopes of reviving them in the future.
Some scientists and doctors have called it quackery and pseudoscience. Yet the hope to return from the dead is still alive and growing as cryogenic facilities and membership numbers rise, especially in Asia. CNA's Tilly Edwards gets us up to speed.
Inside each of these giant stainless steel containers is a body, several of them in fact stored head down in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius. Water in the body is replaced with cryoprotectant. It's a kind of medical grade antifreeze that helps prevent ice crystals forming and damaging the body's cells. Now in this state, experts say it can keep a body preserved for decades. Cost-wise, prices vary. On average, $200,000 to freeze the whole body, but frugal futurists can preserve just their brains for $80,000. Worldwide, around 500 bodies are awaiting revival. The youngest, a 2-year-old Thai girl. Now, the US started the first facility, followed by the UK and Russia. But in recent years, the industry has expanded to include Australia, China, and Thailand. Bangkok-based Cryonics for You is Southeast Asia's first. The company provides advisory service to clients and will be fully operational by year's end. I spoke to CEO Cliff Brown to find out what's driving interest in this region.
Asia's very, very fast-paced, growing economy. You've got the ASEAN community, which is very strong. If you look at Asia on the whole, it's almost half the world's population. So it has to have an impact on the industry. The technology has come from the West. It's actually a 50-year-old technology in America. Asia's a lot more under the spotlight now. There's been a big shift from the West to the East. And so now there's a lot more interest. There was actually a 2-year-old girl from Thailand, and she was frozen in Bangkok by our medical director, and she's now in the facility in America.
We're trying to understand why people are increasingly, taking a chance on immortality when there are basically no refunds, no guarantees of success until science proves otherwise in cryonics.
Realistically, it's possible in our generation because, we've already tripled our age in the past. And 100 years ago, we discovered penicillin. That increased our lifespans by 25%. So if you look at what's happened in the world now, the last 50 years, the world's changed a lot. And, we're progressing and, we're going to continue doing that. So, if you look face value, what are our options? We can be buried or cremated, or we can look at, moving forward, doing something in the future.
What's the general profile of these cryo members? Are they like sci-fi lovers? They're optimists? They are techies?
Well, it's going to help if you're optimistic. It's something that we want to move more mainstream now. If you look at the new Marvel films, all generations, all people can go and watch these films and enjoy these films. And yes, it's science fiction, but there's trying to be a fusion between science fiction and reality.
How does your company and other facilities ensure that the quality and safety of cryopreservation procedures and the sort of measures are in place to monitor the long-term viability of these stored individuals?
Actually, we'll be using what's called an electric cryofreezer, and it's more like a chamber rather than just a stand-up container. So with the electric cryo chamber, we can actually monitor vital signs. We can have alerts and alarm systems.
And Cliff, I want to talk about regulatory challenges because most people who wish to be cryogenically frozen, they don't have a legal basis to guarantee their request. Am I right?
Well, that's not always the case. I mean, there was a 14-year-old girl in London. She wasn't allowed to be cryopreserved. She actually had brain cancer, and her parents wouldn't allow her to do it. So she wrote a letter to the High Court in London, and she explained to them in the letter. She said that she was dying and she wanted to live a long life, and if she's allowed to do the cryonics, and she can have a chance to come back in the future, and hopefully they can cure the cancer. So it was the first case of its kind, and the court decided to allow it. So she won the case, and she's now been cryopreserved.
So how do most people pay for it, out of curiosity?
with difficulty. It's an expensive product. I mean, today you've got two things that everyone wants. Everyone wants a house. Everyone wants a car. So we want to try and make it into a third must-have item. So, I mean, we want to make it mainstream. Life insurance is the tool